Well, effective December 4th, the medical marijuana law goes into effect here in Michigan. In April, the Community Department of Health will begin issuing registry identification cards. And our clinics have opened, THCF medical clinics are opening here on December 4th to help patients who either don't want to ask their current doctor how to get a medical marijuana permit or whose current doctors won't issue a medical marijuana authorization. If a qualifying patient has documentation of a condition that's listed in Michigan's Proposition 1, then we have doctors that will help you get a medical marijuana permit. Those conditions are chronic pain. We find chronic pain is the largest single category of patients. That includes a lot of different conditions, and also things that cause spasms, muscle spasms, everything from multiple sclerosis to asthma attacks, things that cause seizure like epilepsy, and AIDS, cancer, glaucoma. All of those qualify for medical marijuana. And so if you or a loved one needs help finding a doctor who can recommend medical marijuana, or you just want more information about medical marijuana, you can go to our office or our website or our phone number. We're opening in the 2000 Town Center building in Southfield up on the 19th floor. And our phone number is 1-800-723-0188. It's 1-800-723-0188. We also have a website. It's www.thc-foundation, foundation.org. So that's thcfoundation.org. Remember to put that hyphen in after the THC before foundation.
Greg Schmidt's my name. I'm an attorney from Saginaw. I put together a website called qualifyingpatient.com, all one word. The purpose of qualifyingpatient.com is to give legal and medical professionals and qualified patients and primary caregivers under the new law, the Michigan Marijuana Act, the tools they need to understand the new law and to implement it for qualified patients to be able to enjoy the protections under the new law, and for the people who have to help these people, that is the lawyers, the doctors, and the qualified or the primary caregivers, the tools they need to help these people without getting arrested or anything. So to use the website, you merely go to qualifyingpatient.com and you'll see a basic outline of the law on the front page, but you'll also see a link, go to main page. And on that main page, you'll see a full treatise on all the legal aspects of this new law. Basically what I've done, and it's not necessarily in the totally simplistic language, but basically what I've tried to do is stick as close to the statutory language as I can so as not to oversimplify, because if I do that, somebody's going to get the wrong idea and take something the wrong way. I think it's important, if you're going to be involved in this, either as a user or a qualified caregiver or doctor, and of course especially if you're a lawyer, that you carefully read this and don't be afraid to do your homework. In fact, I wouldn't involve myself with this if I were you, if you're not willing to at least read the treatise that I put online, because that will take you through every aspect of this law, and it's very digestible. The text of it's about 20 of the treatise is about 20 pages, and the website is set up for the various stakeholders. You can go to a section for doctors, go to a section for lawyers, go to a section for users, and go to a section for primary caregivers, and basically gives you the information you need for each one of those things. But you can also read through the full treatise, and it's, like I say, it's only about 20 pages of legal text. Then there's a section on medical science and procedures that will help doctors make sure that they follow right procedures to make sure they're protected under the law. And then there's about 30 pages of forms. I've got free pre-printed forms for lawyers, and you can take one to your lawyer if you get in trouble, because it does their work for them. It makes it so all they have to do is basically fill in your names and the circumstances of your case, and they've got the legal tools they need, to get you acquitted. I've also put certifications for doctors to use. They're in absolutely legal form. It's my belief that you should never put more in a form than the law requires, and nor any less. And so that's what these forms have done. They are in absolute legal compliance. And of course there are forms which I call memorandum of doctors of physicians' opinion. And these are forms that you use for the affirmative defense. And they're a little different from the certifications for qualified patients. Those forms you should use definitely between now and April, and everyone should have one. And to the extent you can get your doctor to make a statement to you that he feels in his professional opinion that it's likely that you would receive therapeutic or palliative benefit from the medical use of marijuana for your serious or debilitating medical condition or its treatment, have them prepare that form and the affidavit that goes with it, so that you're protected in case something were to happen. So basically that's what this website does. It has a medical history you can fill out, take to your doctor before you see them, which has many, many questions that are professionally accepted in terms of a doctor assessing your medical history, which, as you may know, is required under the Act, and making an assessment of you as to whether you have the severe and chronic pain, which is sort of the umbrella condition for which doctors can certify you. If you fill this form out and answer all the questions, a doctor will be able to have the background to be able to do a bona fide job for you and say, you either do or you don't have this severe condition, the chronic and severe pain. So if you go to the website and use the forms that are on it, and there's a form bank on it, if you read through carefully the treatise, which is called basically just the Proposal 1, the Michigan Medical Marijuana Law of 2008, and if you use the forms, read through it, determine what your stake is, and go to that section of the website, read it through some more, you'll have a great understanding of this, and maybe you can avoid trouble rather than react to it when it happens. So good luck with your efforts and implementing this law. Please try to be as responsible as you can doing it. That's what I'm trying to do. Come back to the website. It will be always updated and always free. And you can rely on it, because I'm not trying to sell you anything. And I hope you'll take the time to read it and have other people read it. Ask me for after you read the information, ask me some questions, but do it after you read it so we can have an intelligent discussion. And I'll be here to help you, and good luck to you.
Hello, I'm Greg Francisco, the Executive Director of the Michigan Medical Marijuana Association. I'd like to take a few minutes to talk to you about the association and how we together can support the medical marijuana community here in Michigan. After the historic passage of what was then known as Proposal 1 and is now known as the Michigan Medical Marijuana Act, patients in Michigan will be protected from harassment, from law enforcement harassment for using their medicine. However, just getting a law passed at the ballot box is not the same as getting a program enacted and ready to go and actually protecting patients. We here in Michigan, as a community, need to come together and do everything that we can do to support this program and to make this law a success. The Michigan Medical Marijuana Association is a 501c3 not-for-profit corporation registered with the state of Michigan. We are a community service agency. Our duty is to serve the community, to put the community and the patients first. Our mission is to provide supportive services to the Michigan medical marijuana community, to patients, caregivers, and healthcare providers. Our buzzword is safe, affordable, reliable medicine, and our goal is to become a statewide network, a presence, so that anywhere in the state of Michigan, if someone wants to know about the subject of medical marijuana, they can easily find us. The types of services that we can provide basically fall into three broad categories. There are public service type services, things that are there to really assist the community for the good of the community. These would be things like advocacy, speaking up about this issue, educating the public, going to Lansing and going to city council meetings. It's also specific advocacy if any of our brothers and sisters are targeted for harassment or selective enforcement. We can organize activists and interested parties to show up in court and to get their faces on television and to speak up and ask the voters of Michigan, is this kind of harassment what we all voted for? The other free services that we can do is lobby with the Department of Community Health. We are a registered lobbyist, a lobbying agency with the state of Michigan, which gives us some credibility to go to the Department of Community Health and say, we represent the Michigan Medical Marijuana Association, which in turn represents the community here in Michigan. We will have a website in which we would have information about medical marijuana. That would be information that would be specific to conditions, research articles, and how to enroll in the Michigan Medical Marijuana Program, either as a patient or a caregiver. So we would have that kind of information there, application forms, and very clear, simply written directions on how to get people through it. We'd also have a help desk, and so if people were having difficulty or did have questions, there would be a live person at the end of a telephone or of a computer console to let those people those questions, to get back to them within a 24-hour period or so to help them get their answers so that we can protect patients and get them their medicine. We will also be doing seminars around the state. Nurses, doctors, social workers, other professionals are required to do periodic in-services. We will be available to do those in-services and those trainings on the subject of medical marijuana. We can put on classes around the state for people that want to be a caregiver and they want to learn more. We can go to health fairs. All over the state of Michigan, local county health departments and state representatives and senators organize senior health fairs. We can attend these health fairs and inform people about the issue of medical marijuana. What are their rights? What are their benefits? We will also provide supplies. We would be a source of supplies for anything that a medical marijuana patient, caregiver, or health care provider might need. That might include vaporizers or other devices that could be used to ingest medical marijuana. That might include equipment to grow medical marijuana. It might be manuals. We're working right now on writing a cookbook on how to cook marijuana so that people don't have to necessarily smoke it. All those kinds of things would be things that the Michigan Medical Marijuana Association could do. But most of all, and most importantly, it gives us a voice. We won by 63%, and just as significantly, we won in every single county in this state. The politicians cannot say that the voters were duped or they didn't know what they were voting for. They can't say it was close. We have what can only be considered a political mandate to move ahead in this state with protecting patients who choose to use this valuable natural substance to treat the symptoms of their illnesses. Together, the Michigan Medical Marijuana Association gives us one voice, it gives us clout, it gives us credibility in Lansing. I hope that you'll join us at the Michigan Medical Marijuana Association, and we can be found online at michiganmedicalmarijuana.org. michiganmedicalmarijuana.org. Thank you very much.